voice inside the box. Benjamin was in music class when he heard a sound coming from inside Mr. Houghton's desk. It was a quiet hum, like the sound of a mosquito. Except for one thing. He thought he heard it say, "Help me." Brrr, brrr, brrr.
Wait for me. Welcome to modern China. High-rise buildings, shopping districts, and creative hubs. I want to explore these areas, but also find a bookstore where I can read a children's novel that I have started writing. The first chapter came to me a couple of years ago, so I wrote it down and I started crafting a story around it. I love libraries and books because that's where I get my travel ideas from. So I thought, how exciting would it be if I read the first chapter in a bookstore in China?
"Hello?" he whispered into the keyhole. "Is anybody there?"
It just so happens that the hotel we're staying at is in the same building as a bookstore. But before I do that, I want to explore the modern side of China and eat some food.
From Maniso.
We got these cute earmuffs from Miniso, which I'll use as a prop in my storytelling later on. It's really fun to see Chengdu's national identity expressed in cute ways, like seeing these pandas playing mahjong and the infamous climbing panda in the International Finance Square. What do I feel like eating? Something tangy? Something flavorful? Something different? I can still taste the tanginess of the broth mixed with the noodles.
This looks like hot pot meat. And I'm gonna add in a bit of soup for a delicious mouthful.
Our hotel is in the same building as this bookstore. I'm at the kids section and there's a mother taking a nap. I just found the perfect spot to read my children's story.
The voice inside the box. Benjamin was in music class when he heard a sound coming from inside Mr. Houghton's desk. It was a quiet hum, like the sound of a mosquito. Except for one thing. he thought he heard it say, "Help me." Brrr, brrr, brrr. At first, he thought the voice came from his timid classmate, Coral. But when he looked over, Coral was busy doodling on her desk. No, it was definitely coming from inside the drawer, the one that Mr. Houghton always kept locked. Benjamin knew this because whenever Mr. Houghton closed the drawer, he heard a clicking sound, like a key turning in the lock. Benjamin waited until class was over, then snuck back inside. Nobody else was around. He pressed his ear against the tiny keyhole and listened very closely. Yes, something was definitely wheezing softly inside. "Hello?" he whispered into the keyhole. "Is anybody there?" Nobody answered, so he waited a while longer. The clock began ticking very loudly. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The wind was pattering against the window. Pit, pat, pit, pat. The air in the classroom was vibrating. Hum, num, hum, num, hum. All while he waited for the voice to speak. Just as he was about to give up and leave, he heard a faint whisper in his ear. "Don't go to Mr. Houghton's choir." Benjamin gasped and jumped back in fright. Who was inside the drawer? All of a sudden, he heard footsteps thudding down the corridor. Mr. Houghton was back.
Thanks for listening to the first chapter of my story. There's more to come. We are currently above the bookstore, and there's a really cool art space that we've discovered, so we're taking our time to explore it. I was completely blown away by the design process in these artworks. There's a distinct identity in these pieces. Some of the subjects are drawn from Chinese period dramas and illustrated in an anime style, mixing history with modern techniques. Time for nightlife. Stay tuned for my next video, where I'll be exploring the real modern China, from the famous alleys of Quanzhaixiang to People's Park, where you'll find the matchmaking corner. These are places where locals mingle, and you'll feel the true essence of modern China.